Hey, thanks for joining me. So this page is as much about writing and photography and video as it is about motorcycles. I just happen to photograph and write and video motorcycles, so there's a good mix of each. I just want to take a minute to talk about the non-motorcycle parts and kind of give you an update of where things stand. I may be that guy who talks about writing the novel and never actually does it. No, actually, I'm just kidding. I mean, it's just a matter of discipline, and I need to do it without making a lot of excuses. I think the fact that I haven't been writing much hasn't helped much, because if you don't get alone with your own thoughts, you really don't have a lot of thoughts to share with others. So I just haven't had much to say. About the most creative things I've written in the last couple of months are emails and my monthly report at work. Now, I do write pretty good emails. I really think I just need to sit down and force myself to write and just keep writing, and then filter out the stuff that's not worth reading. And I really haven't had any articles to write for magazines or anything like that, so there hasn't been any writing there. I've considered writing fiction, but every time I start thinking about plots, my thoughts turn like sound underwater, garbled, muffled, and distant. That's okay. That's not really my thing anyways. That little voice in the back of my head keeps saying, I just need to sit down and write. Photography is the easy one for me because it's kind of got a technical side to it as well as the artistic side, and the geek in me is drawn to that. I can figure out the gadgets. So this is where I've spent a lot of time actually, studying, practicing, getting out, taking pictures. No assignments, no jobs, but there's plenty of pictures to be taken. I'm working Photoshop, I'm working on composition, color. They say that if you're trying to market yourself, you never tell people that you're learning, but the truth of the matter is you're always learning. And if you stop learning, you stop growing. So yeah, I'm still learning. Now, could I be very good? Maybe, but I'm still learning. You just keep getting better and better and better. It's growth. I've got a bunch of shooting ideas. Landscape, portraits, motorcycles, better lenses, but that's a matter of money, and we'll talk about business in a second. You know, I actually stopped doing video for a while because I looked at other people's videos and I thought, I'm barely amateur. I don't hold a candle to them. But I've kind of come to believe that if you're going to do it, you just need to jump in somewhere and start doing it. If you wait until you're that good, you'll never start, and then you'll never get that good. So I've really been working on video. It's getting a little bit easier, obviously, with the vlogs. I haven't been as frequent as I'd like to be because I do want them to be interesting. I don't want to post a vlog about, well, I mowed my lawn today. You know, trying to get some content. When things pick up, I'm sure I'll have more stuff to post. Social media. So I've really been working on Instagram, and I've been building a slow but steady following, which is awesome. Facebook really hasn't grown any. I've got the people who have liked it and who are following me, and that's awesome, but I haven't seen exponential growth or, you know, any growth. YouTube, obviously I've been posting the vlogs, and I've picked up some followers there, and that's awesome. So I'm getting followers on Instagram, I've got followers on Facebook, and I'm getting more followers on YouTube. And to all of you, I want to give you a huge thank you. I really appreciate your support. It means a lot to me. It means that what I'm doing is interesting enough for somebody else to pay attention. 2 thumbs up for you. But I'm not convinced that, unless your business is social media, that social media is really about business. Although you can certainly drive people towards your business via social media. You can certainly get whatever you're producing out there in front of some people. And you can make some great contacts in social media. Now, don't just work social media so you can meet people to drive your business. That's just using people. It's wrong. But you can make great contacts through social media, and because you've got common interests, sometimes those contacts can help you. But don't do it just for what you can get. Don't be a tool. If you get business through your contacts, that's great. Unless you can build enough of a following to drive sponsorships and do affiliate links and that sort of thing, I'm not convinced there's a whole lot of business to be had from social media. I know there are avenues. Obviously, I could come up with courses on photography and classes and things like that I could sell that aren't necessarily photography, or presets. I could come up with all kinds of Lightroom presets that I could sell, not necessarily photography. Just from a photography standpoint, if I was a wedding photographer, I could have a form and draw people this way, which leads to another problem, which we'll talk about in business. I will say that social media is a great way to get instant feedback, and it does kind of keep you pushing towards getting better. So let's talk about the ugly elephant in the room, business. I'm not really fond of the business aspect of it. I don't know a whole lot of creatives that are. We really just want to create and have money come to us. So far, I've set up a great website where you can actually order prints, and that's right, nothing. So here's the dilemma. I'm not a wedding photographer. I can't advertise myself as a wedding photographer. I don't want to be a wedding photographer. My hats are off to those people, but that's not my gig. That's a very specific set of skills. So I've put all this work into creating better content. I've continued to work on it. I've polished the diamond. But other than an amazing and wonderful collection of prints that everyone should own, I don't really have a product I can sell online, or a service that I can sell online. I can't locally go to somebody and say, hey, I write and I do photography and I do videos. It's all centered around motorcycles and landscapes and travel. I'm no closer to figuring out how to get someone to pay me to do domestic motorcycle travel media. At this stage of the game, I think the only way to get editorial work is to pay for the trip yourself, go on the trip and create great media, find an outlet that is interested in it, that it's appropriate for, and that is willing to pay you for it, and get them to pay you enough to pay for the trip and maybe a little extra for the next trip. Now here is the catch-22. I don't really have the money. I need the job to get the money to pay for the trip, to create the content to get the money to pay for the job to get the trip. Vicious circle. Did I mention that I really don't have any money? I have $4.75. So I've tried to figure out some other revenue streams. I've figured out affiliate links. If you buy something from the links below, I actually get a small percentage. Not a huge percentage, a small percentage. So far, it's earned me nothing, but maybe someday. At least I've got that piece figured out. Micro stocks, I've got a fair number of pictures up at some of the stock companies, and that's netted me a grand $4.75. Now, I can tell you that that doesn't pay for the time it took to sign up for these sites, much less the time it took to take the pictures, process the pictures, and send them up. That's okay. The pictures wouldn't be making anything if they were still sitting in my library, and I knew that would never be a lot of money. But it's better than nothing, and considering all my revenue streams, except for one person who bought a print of themselves, which I'm grateful for, that's my second biggest income. Real estate photography. I think I could do that. And that might bring in a little bit of coin. I think I could pull that off and do a good job for someone. But I need a wider lens. So I'm essentially at a standstill. And it's a little discouraging, but I'm not sure how much of that is because I expect everything to happen overnight. And mentally, I know that's not the case. I know there are people whose work I respect that have been doing it for a very long time to get to where they are. Would I like to have better equipment? Absolutely. Do I need better equipment, and can I make do with what I've got? Apparently I'm going to have to. I'll just make it work that much better. Am I going to get rich tomorrow? Probably not. But maybe the next day. Maybe that company will call and say, hey, we want you to come take pictures for us for whatever. Or that magazine will call and say, hey, we really want you to ride out to wherever and write a story and take pictures and do video. And, it could happen. But the best thing I can think of to do now is just keep going. Keep taking pictures. Keep writing. Well, start writing. Keep doing videos, refining that whole process, and just keep doing what I love doing. You know, food always tastes better if it's made with love, and maybe that's true of everything we do. So anyways, that's it. I hope you got something out of this, just an update kind of thing. I will try not to make these too frequent because I know you'd rather see exciting stuff, but that's just an update of where I am. Hit the subscribe button, give me a like, Check me out on Instagram. Like I said, I've really been trying to work that a whole lot more consistently, posting a lot of good pictures there, and I'll start writing. Thanks for dropping in.